Hello and welcome to Reuniverse, movie review podcast. We just watched Split by Midnight Shyamalama Ding Dong. What was your first thoughts?
I thought that it was a good movie. That's really the best thing about it.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Great movie.
Anyone who because when I'm thinking about M. Night Shyamalan, I immediately think of The Sixth Sense, and then everything else I don't think much about because I didn't really care much about.
Nah.
I think about
When I think of him, I think about
The Last
Devil.
Airbender. I think of The Last Airbender and
was
The
that?
Sixth Sense.
And The Neighbors or something.
The Visit.
Whatever it was called. The
Yeah, I
Visit.
thought I haven't seen The Visit. Everyone said it was really good.
I think it's so dumb.
I haven't. Have you seen it?
Like, I've seen parts of it, the concept of it. It's like these children, they're so dumb. That's the worst thing about Midnight Shyamalama. He makes his characters unrelatable. Because, like, when you think about it, it's like, you're supposed to put yourself into the character's shoes, but, like, all the characters he's makes are stupid. Beyond reason. Thinking about, the movie Neighbors or whatever it's called.
The Visit.
The Visit. There was these kids, they went to their grandparents' house. And they've never seen their grandparents' faces and stuff. And then...
How's that possible?
Oh, well. No.
Right there,
forget
that
about
seems kind of questionable.
I know, it's so dumb.
So that's what I'm saying, is that's what M. Night Shyamalan is, that everything is questioned because like,
Yeah, as a director...
it's been a while since you made something that was
question.
really good. And then I saw the reviews for this, and I was like, okay, that looks interesting. But, okay, before the reviews, I was like, okay, that looks interesting. And I saw the reviews, and everyone said, it's actually pretty good. Like, it actually looks really good.
It was a great movie.
It's a good movie. It's actually a very good movie. So the synopsis of it is that is
Three girls.
Two of them are friends because they are friends. The other one's forced to.
There was a party in the beginning, and then their dad taking them home. We're supposed to take them home.
Then he got
murdered. I don't know.
He got stuffed.
He
I think he got stuffed. I thought he got stuffed in the
Yeah,
trunk.
I
was
really
expecting
thought.
him. I was expecting him to come back sometime.
No, he was just
What happened
knocked
to
out
the dad?
and
Was
just, like,
killed.
No, I think he was just knocked out on the sidewalk.
I
or
thought that he
something.
was stuffed in the back of the trunk, and then we would see him again. But then that
No.
never happened. So
Nope.
I completely forgot about the dad.
No, yeah. But
Yeah.
also in the trailer, I thought they were like in the middle of the road or highway, and he just like came in.
Take him up. He keeps him kidnapped, and he has a whole bunch of split personalities. And one of them is
Wait, okay, here's the question.
Evil.
How many?
23,
Wrong. 24.
23, and then the
24 now. There was originally 23, and then
And that's-
24th came.
I don't know,
Later
because
in
that's
the
the
movie.
okay, we'll get back to that later about 24th. That makes it's because it's like confusing about what it means about split personality, or is it even? Anyway, so he
Yeah,
kidnaps
DID.
them. They find out that the guy is crazy, and his therapist is also obviously knows that he's crazy too,
Yeah,
obviously.
It was
And
first, it was Dylan. Is that correct?
Dennis.
He
Is
came
the-
in first. He's the one who adopted them. And then it was Patricia. Him and Dennis were talking to each other. And then like he comes in through
Patricia
the door,
and
you
Dennis.
find out it's all the same person, which was what was
Kevin.
his- Kevin. That's
Kevin Grump.
it. Kevin
Something Grump.
Crump.
Help for whoever Grump.
Kevin Weasel Crump or something. I don't know.
But okay, so he kidnaps them, and then whoa, oh, I keep the thing. So he kidnaps them. They are trying to get out. I mean, there's not much other than
No.
it's an
They
escape
did
thriller. They're
find
trying to
a
get
way out, which was like the ceiling.
They found ways out. No, let's like you don't have to go through the whole movie.
No,
point
I mean
is-
this is like the basic.
Yeah, but you don't have to go through the whole movie.
I'm not.
Saying like they had the ceiling. They have to talk about the
found-
closets and everything.
No,
like that.
they found in the top because what was the little boy's name?
Hedwig.
Hedwig or something.
Hedwig?
He told them, Hedwig. He told them that they were renovating or something, and like they found an entrance to the top, and
They made it-
that's when they lose the first girl, the blonde one. She was trapped.
She gets thrown in a closet.
Yeah.
And then, okay, what happens after that? Then they try and no, they don't escape again because they get invited to eat with Patricia.
Yeah, or
and,
something like that.
And the girl slams him in the back of the head with a chair.
Yep. and
She
then
runs away.
She gets put into
Can't
another.
run away.
Put in
They're
a
not
door,
they're
closet.
pretty
yeah.
dumb. They're not even
So-
that dumb. That's the thing. Like that's the thing about these decisions in this movie. The only decision,
Yeah.
and you caught it, the only decision that I thought was a bad decision was that they waited till the end to finally in the closet. Let's try and escape. And I was like, you're in the closet the whole time. I found a hanger.
Yeah.
Other than that, think about their decisions, because their decisions are not actually wrong. They don't make any bad decisions.
Let me repeat this. A great movie. Let's go back. There's so many of their decisions were so dumb. Because as a person, when you go into a movie, you're supposed to put your feet into their shoes. In which
You're supposed to find value in the individual character's apparel, whether it be the main character or the subsequential, not so cared about characters. But that's the thing
side
about
characters.
They're not really typical side characters, because
I
they're
did
all
not like either of them. I'm
the
glad
two
they-
girls.
Yeah, I'm glad they both died.
Okay, so there's 3 girls. You got the main girl, and then you got the 2 preppy girls who aren't even that, but they don't fit any specific stereotype of being. They're not defenseless. They're just weak, and that's the point, though. They're outmatched. They're outmatched, and they're outmanned.
No, okay, even in the beginning, they said if all 3 of us
That's what I'm saying. They're
take him
not
out,
dumb. Like that makes
No.
sense. That's what I'm saying. Like those are
No,
actually
they just make dumb decisions.
okay. Well, like what? Like running
They
into the
didn't-
locker room?
No, the
They-
main girl, she was like, I'm just not gonna do anything. I'm just
until
gonna sit
the
here
end
and wait.
and wait.
It was like information. It's like, no. If there's a fight and a flight response. The 2 girls, they were having a
Fight.
fight.
One was
Reaction.
having a fight. The other one was thinking about it.
Yeah, she was like iffy about it. The other one was like, just stay still and do nothing and wait. I would have fought.
Then again, I mean, he took the first girl and just
Yeah, and then like she said,
It
like
was so easy.
Yeah, she like picked. She said that he just easily picked them up and put them on the bed with no strength at all.
And that's
It
what I'm
was like
saying. Like,
nothing.
and that's the thing about
I mean,
it.
you could have still done
those
something
decisions
about
are
it.
not bad. They're just outmanned. And then this thing like, where are they gonna go? They don't know where their situation is. They don't know anything about what they're doing. I think even the trailers, they could do a good job of really concealing
the
the
trailers are
fact
good.
of where they are, which is spoiler alert. Then they're in the basement.
They're in a zoo, pretty much.
Well, they're in the basement,
the cellar of a zoo.
They're in the inner working basement cellar, the inner working cellars of the zoo that Kevin works at.
No, it was Barry,
Barry works at.
which was the
Did
flamboyant.
they say the name
Yeah.
on the news?
Who?
The lady says that it was Kevin that worked at the bank.
No,
At
I'm
the
pretty sure
zoo.
it was Barry.
I don't know.
Because
We can
every
look
time
back.
when he came into the psychiatrist's office, it was always Barry, and she says like, out of all the
You've kept your job.
you kept your job.
But
for
his
10 years
job
straight.
was working at, was dealing with fashion.
No, that's what he liked to do. What he was I don't know, maintenance.
You
I
can
guess.
look back. Hello, Jenny.
Anyways,
But okay, and so so there's the thing. He has split personalities. Yes, split multiple personalities. Extreme identity disorder.
BID.
Yes, did. And but I think the thing about it though is that really catches off is that his final form, his cell form,
The Beast.
his final form as the beast,
24th
and that's the thing about that. I was like,
identity.
that was a good way of keeping it. That's why I feel like that's a good suspense to it, because all of his split personalities are him, but they're not anatomically different.
Yeah.
Like she mentioned that there were examples that some personalities of this one lady was blind and then the other ones were not, and her brain was able to connect the dots to tell her this one is not blind, this one is blind. But did any of his split personalities, other than the way he walked and talked and acted, they actually change him? No. And that's what I'm saying, like that was a good plot, because I thought the whole time like, oh, the Beast is just him just pretending to be roided up and be mad and angry, if there was a beast anyway.
No, the Beast.
What I wasn't expecting the Beast to be was literally a literal beast, him climbing on the wall, his veins all popped out. Like that was I was
scary.
like, now I was like, hold on, like, because I was like,
when he was climbing on the
okay.
walls, it like my mind completely like blanked out and went back to like I saw the Babadook and like him climbing on the walls. It's like, oh no,
Oh man.
oh man, not this again.
Babadook.
But then when you saw
Babadook.
him climb on the walls, I was like, he looks
Okay.
just like a lizard. Or
And that's
like
the
a billy
problem,
goat.
though. And that's, I think, where the best question about that personality is, because none of his other personalities had any real physical morphing to him. He didn't change. All
Yeah,
the thing changed was
physically, no, it
was
was all
mentally,
mentally.
physically, and everything. But that's the thing, though, is the final form, his cell form.
Yeah, his final form
is that
was animal.
because of mental, or
It
is
was
because
pure
he
animal
is
instincts and
But that's the question, though. Is that
Attitude.
final form, is his final personality the beast?
Yes.
Is the personality just a personality disorder, or is he actually mutating and actually something else the whole time?
The beast
He was
took
just
over.
released it at the very end.
Okay, his 24th identity was the beast.
Identity?
I don't know. The beast took over, in which it completely physically and mentally changed.
He changed.
him.
And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, that's not a personality, because his all other personalities are just him who changes clothes and how he dresses, how he acts,
one has a
how he
different,
talks, and how he thinks. But
guess
they
quirk.
don't change him physically.
For example, Dennis, which was the main
It's
bad
Howie
guy.
Mandel.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's Howie
His
Mandel.
thing was he had OCD,
Yes.
in which he had to like make everything correct. Barry, he was a fashion designer, I guess. And then Patricia was just a mean
She
mom.
was OCD too, because
I don't think
she
so.
was the one that was cutting up the sandwich and got it wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're both OCD. They're both
Yeah, but
very.
I think she was just. I like how we're talking about different characters, but it's the same person. That's how great.
That's the
of
thing,
an
though.
actor he is.
Plug in James McAvoy
James
should
McAvoy
get an
is a great
Oscar for
actor.
this. That's another point about it. It's hard to connect in M. Night Shyamalan movies
Okay.
because the characters can never be relatable.
No,
and this one was he
okay,
was not
Midnight
relatable at
Shyamalan
all.
Ding Dong. He gets great actors, except
He doesn't know how to
in
use
some
them right.
movies, like Mark Wahlberg in The Following or The Hollowing. I don't.
Yeah, his
remember
Mark
the name.
Wahlberg face. What?
Yeah, that was
No.
terrible.
It's
He is a fantastic actor, but like
There's
without
questions of that.
direction, which was Midnight Shyamalan, he did not direct it
or with
correctly.
direction
But,
that's
like, with this
misguided,
movie-
or it's like it doesn't fit him. It's like just because you got a good actor doesn't mean that he can fit this misguided, strange role.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with M. Night Shyamalan. He has the recognition
in
and
this
strength to
movie-
really do a good, to have the.
Yeah,
he has
he's
the
definitely
ability
not
to
a
get
blockbuster
anyone he
movie
wants
person.
to.
He's not a director who does like big budget movies.
No, he
I don't
doesn't.
think that's his forte.
But
because
he-
like all his newer ish movies are small scale.
And they were always
Yeah,
really
and
small
they were
scale,
all-
except
no.
for the Will Smith's movie
Which was
After Earth.
After Earth. Don't remember it.
And
I won't remember it.
and
Yeah, but, like-
Airbender, The Last Airbender.
I know, but that was Will Smith's. That was pretty much him. His vision of what he wanted to be. Like this was his, I guess, Star Wars or something. I don't know. Or like he tried to make his son.
So was it?
I don't know.
an M. Night
It
Shyamalan
was-
movie, or
I never
was it
saw
just-
it. I will never watch it.
The point is, though, is that that's the thing about reputation about M. Night Shyamalan is that he's supposed to have characters that are supposed to be compelling, but some of them are great. They hit. Sixth Sense, everything perfect, and then
no,
some
he
just
gets
don't.
he gets like A-list actors to
Yeah.
do all his movies.
That's what I was like. He has
So
it.
like you could like see in some of his movies, they were like
Questionable.
the actors. They were great or they were terrible.
That's what I'm saying. And a lot of that has to do with dialogue
I
and
know, but in this
direction and
movie, it was-
situation.
It was on point.
The girls, I didn't care
The
much
girls,
about.
no, they
the
died. Who
psychiatrist, great.
I like her.
The main girl, great.
I don't.
James McAvoy,
I don't even know their names.
amazing.
What are the actresses' names?
They
I
are.
don't know. Was this their like
no,
first movies?
no, I don't know. Now the psychiatrist though, she was
Yeah,
psychologist. She
she
was
was
in.
really
She was in.
great.
No, she was in. The Happening.
I guess.
I think.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I heard that
think
she
so.
was in another. She was in another movie before.
I guess.
With M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. But, and then, so that's what I'm saying, like, you have great connection. The girl is believable. Her story is believable. She is actually, she does, like, she did a good choice, great acting, great plot. Everything was good with her. The other two girls, I mean, were filler. That's really what they were. They were just filler characters. They were there, and they they felt the grunt of the M. Night Shyamalan's dialogue direction. They felt the grunt, but every other piece was perfect. Girls' connection, the girls' acting and character was believable. It was compelling. It was a great leader-esque role. The great protagonist, even though she really, she was the protagonist.
She was not.
But she wasn't a hero.
She wasn't like the go-getter.
She wasn't a hero. That's what I'm saying, though. She wasn't a hero.
She was not a hero. There are no heroes.
And that's what's strange. There's no heroes in this movie. Just a big bad guy, and everyone has to survive. No, you know who the hero might be is the psychiatrist, the psychologist, psychiatrist. But is the doctor. But then again, she gets anaconda.
She was hugged to death.
She was hugged to death. She was death hugged.
Oh yeah, that was like the point in which you actually saw.
I was like that. Okay, that was the point where his powers actually.
You saw like what he looked like.
Okay, because when he was changing in the subway.
Yeah, he went to the subway in which his father, I guess, left him or something, and he decided to change in the subway cart, and then he just like flew up.
No, he jumped
went
up
above the train.
He jumped on this train. He ran across and he jumped off and he ran across the rails.
And he just ran.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, he's just one of his personalities. Because look, dissect everything before the death hug. Okay, all he's doing is that he's running.
It showed.
He jumps. He doesn't fly. He jumps.
I know.
All you see him run. He jumps and he runs at superhuman speed.
Or
he runs at
there are no
James
like
McAvoy
comic
speed.
book aspects to this. Going by Midnight Shyamalan, he made realistic, ideal,
This is a down-to-earth
superhero movie.
It makes sense. It's not too unbelievable. It's not too
it's
grandiose
somewhat
in the
believable.
world. It's somewhat believable. It takes it's strange. This interpretation of a superhero, or in this case a supervillain, is grotesque. He's superhuman. He has supernatural abilities. He has abilities that are not natural, but they're supernatural. They're beyond what we could physically do. He can take shotgun bullets that go through his body. He eats people. He ate
the children.
He ate the children.
Which was okay.
That was all right.
I like
he death hugged. He hugged the lady to death. And he crawls on walls. He's super strong, super fast. When he was crawling on the walls and knocking out the lights on the hallway, that was intense. Like, okay, hold on.
That was the point.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, because everything. That's what I said. This was great. His delivery. And the build
great
up,
actor,
the build up,
good direction.
The build up to the reveal of the villain, the Beast, is perfectly executed because of the fact that you do not expect him to be that bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see him personality, you think like, okay, well, he's just gonna be like, crazy. And you see him running up through the subway, you see him running around, he starts climbing. It's like, but here's the thing though. It's like, okay, that's parkour. I mean, he's already fit anyway. Excuse me. He jumps on the subway, he runs away, he runs fast. He jumps over the fence where the zoo's at, where he keeps coming in and out, that one little hallway that you only see. But the thing about that though is that anyone who's fit can do that. That's what I was like, okay, like that could still be him. But when he goes to the room and it shows the lady and it turns around and all of his veins, he's ultra veiny and they're blue and green. You realize, okay, this guy's crazy. It shows his face. I was expecting like him, like fangs or like a physical morph. His eyes and his bleeding out.
I was expecting
everything.
him to be, like a transformation.
Like you expect him to be like a mutant.
It was somewhat realistic.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was, and then he grabbed
his entire
her
body. Just completely like blew up. He evolved.
Yeah, he evolved to a predator. He evolved to a true human predator, a true specimen of of power, and then he death hugged her. He hugged her to death, and then at that point, the next thing he does is what's the next thing? Who sees him next?
Who sees
It's
him?
the girl.
Yeah, it's the girl. She
It's the
like
girl.
no, she opens the door and finds the first girl with her like guts.
No. Before that, or
Maybe
before all
before.
that, so he hugs the lady to death, and then what? We don't see him actually going into the other rooms. He just goes there, right?
It shows
he-
the girl.
Yeah, he shows the girl is already eaten up, and then it shows him eating on the other girl. Like, okay, this
Yeah,
guy's
she was,
crazy.
like, watching the videos. Okay,
Yeah, she was
I
watching-
like.
it showed
I
him watching-
really
go back
like
to the
that
videos.
part in which she saw on the computer all these different files of all the names
personalities.
of all the personalities, and she.
Did you
started
notice that
clicking
the
on each
last
and every
number
single one of them.
23 was Mr. Picard?
Who?
Mr.
No,
Picard.
I didn't notice.
You should, well, yeah, like look back. I was like, hold on, is that like a Star Trek? No, that's Picard. No, that's
I don't
Picard. Picard, something like
No,
that.
okay.
There was
a
this
thing
I was like,
in which the
that's kinda
doctor
cool.
said you have to say his entire full name.
Yeah, she
It
wrote
will-
that down
it'll
before she
revert
got hugged
back
to death.
to his personal
Kevin himself.
Kevin,
Yeah,
in which the main character she did say his full name,
yeah,
and like he transformed back to
to
Kevin.
normal.
Yeah, and then like you saw him as a person, and he said, "It's like, is this 2014 certain date?" It's like, I just got off the bus or something like that. He hasn't been in control in over, going by the time I think it's 20,
At least 2 years. It's 2016.
yeah, 2016 or 2017,
Yeah.
like really early. Like he hasn't been
He
in
hasn't
control
been in control forever,
for like a couple years now.
but she knows that he can. And,
Yeah, when you say
but forgetful.
But she
But then
said that
immediately goes
once you
back.
say his full name, all the characters go into light. Because all the characters are in like a chair sitting down in a room. And then like each one has their spotlight in which they go to.
Yeah,
But then there were like the two main characters. The two bad characters
the
was
two villainous personalities.
Dylan and
Dennis and Patricia.
Dennis and Patricia. They were in control. They were in the light for pretty much the whole movie.
Have you seen Always Sunny?
In what? Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Some episodes. Why?
You know Dennis, like the brother.
Yeah.
He acts like it. That's how I remember. Like he actually kind of acts like Dennis. If you've never seen the movie, if you haven't seen the movie yet, but you have seen Always Sunny.
Is he picky?
Yeah. Okay. He's very. He's not
Yeah.
really OCD, but he's very. He has issues. He has
I
anger
guess.
management and
I've never
schizophrenia issues. Dennis does. So I was like, that's how I remember. That's how you keep forgetting, but I remember like that's Dennis.
Yeah.
But and then I think the best part, the part that you realize, okay, this and here's the thing though about it wasn't outlandish, and that's what great because the acting was believable, the setup was great, but it didn't feel like okay, this is kind of strange. I wasn't expecting it, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Moment was when the part that you really knew that this guy was more than just a crazy nutcase who was because. I mean, cannibals, they eat people. But then again, at that point, you didn't see like, okay, this guy's
No,
superhuman.
he just didn't.
The
eat them.
point that he was
like,
superhuman was when
he
he was
tore them
crawling.
apart.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he did, but anyone can do that.
No, he ripped the first girl.
He took her
like
intestines
ripped
out.
her entire intestines out.
Yeah, but here's
you
the
don't
thing-
see it happen, but like you see the aftermath.
Yeah.
In which, I mean, that looked like you had to get a knife and like cut it open and then like
Which can
remove
happen.
them.
Like I'm saying, that
yeah,
can
but
happen.
like he did it all by hand or mouth or something.
Okay, here's the thing though. He hugged the psychiatrist to death.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, when he grabs the
we
girl,
all know,
he easily
like, he has
tossed her
superhuman
around.
Strength.
So that's what I'm saying. Well, he had strength already to begin with. He could easily lift the other girl up when it did happen earlier.
Yeah, that was Dylan.
And
he
so-
said when talking to the psychiatrist that he was the strongest among all of them.
Yeah.
Which was Dennis. And then he said he saw the beast in person. And he said like he was 5 times bigger,
stronger and
stronger.
bigger than any
Yeah.
I would imagine.
I mean, he was
Which
nothing
was
compared
true.
to him, which was really true.
But the point about though is that the point that to me, and yours is different, mine is that I realized this guy is a superhuman was when he was crawling up the wall. When she finally saw the
Yeah.
note and she turned around and she sees him crawling up the wall. At that point, I'm like, okay,
Yeah, that was the
this
part
guy
that scared me.
This guy is not a split personality. He is a creature. He is evolved into a creature.
Okay.
To me, that's why I thought
See,
like, okay,
no.
this because of
I
split
think
personality.
it's completely different.
because
because
humans
he has
just don't
all
crawl
these
on
different
walls.
identities. Yeah, they can.
But no, name a
mean,
human that can crawl on a wall like that.
I don't
He
know his
literally
name,
just went
but,
full
like,
Spider-Man, and
He's
he just
called
crawled.
he's called the Monkey Man, in which he can climb up mountains.
Yes,
like,
but
upside
but
down
He has,
with his
but
bare
here's
hands.
the thing, though. He has.
But like, no, he
He
evolved.
has grows. He
But
he's
like
able to
he
find
is also
holes.
the Beast is another personality in which it's all the manifestations of all the, I guess, bad that has happened to him, and from what he has seen from the animals in the zoo, he manifests like the cheetah with the speed, and
But
like
here's
the
the thing
lion
about it,
with
though.
like eating the thing, and then like the rhino skin, because like he was shot point blank
twice.
with a
But
shotgun.
he didn't die.
No,
the bullets
he
didn't
was
even
shot
go
in the
through
stomach
him.
and in the heart.
Even as it didn't even go through
no,
him.
at the very end, it shows him like looking in the mirror. It like didn't pierce through the.
That's not what
it
a
pierced through
that's
the
just like
skin.
personalities
didn't pierce
can't
through
do
anything
that.
else. Yeah.
A personality can't do that. He has to
no,
evolve.
He physically his mind. The mind.
And that's the
can-
question. Is it because of the mind, or is it
Yeah.
because he's already a superhuman?
No,
like
he's
is he
not.
is he like Bruce Willis?
No, he's not. Oh yeah, Bruce
Was it-
Willis.
yeah,
is
Bruce
in the
Willis in the
movie.
movie.
He's at the very end.
Oh yeah, spoiler. This is Unbreakable 2. Even
No,
though it's
not
not
2,
really.
it's
It's like Unbreakable 1.5.
I was
it's
not.
It's the
expecting
setup.
that.
It's the setup to Unbreakable. That's what this movie is.
I
It is a
completely
super-
forgot Midnight Shyamalama made Unbreakable,
Yeah.
in which you saw Bruce Willis at the very end, and he said, and he was like in the diner, and the girl said, it's like, isn't
Who's that weird wheelchair guy?
no, like she said, the
Okay.
what is he called, the Hive or something?
The Horde.
The Horde.
How do you forget
Like-
everything? We just watched this
Yeah,
movie.
I have a terrible memory. Get over it. She said like the Horde reminds me of like someone like 10 or 12 years ago, like the guy in the wheelchair, and then you see Bruce Willis's face. I was like, why is
Mr.
he in this?
Glass.
And then like, oh yeah, I remember this. And then whatever. Bruce Willis.
Blom.
Yeah.
Inception. Blonk.
All right.
Blonk. A little bit. And so yeah, it's a setup to the next Unbreakable movie.
Yeah.
But so that's the thing.
See, now,
that's,
I was
that's
not-
the thing.
I
That's,
did not
That's not even a
expect-
twist. It's not a twist. And that's like when I saw the reviews, everyone said like there's a twist, there's a thing, but it doesn't change anything of the movie, which it doesn't.
No, it just like adds something else.
It adds to the movie.
Yeah, in which
because
like,
it adds
because
to
I
the
thought
lore of it.
Split was just like a one-off movie.
Okay.
It was like a great thriller, suspenseful. You know, this is Midnight Shyamalan.
You know what it reminded me
Whatever.
of? What it reminded me of, the same feeling of okay, that it didn't change the outcome of the movie. It didn't change the movie if you're watching it. It never changed
It
it.
just adds another.
This is an
layer.
example of it. This other movie did the same thing. It doesn't change anything, but it adds to it. It creates. It sets up. It makes this movie, this movie and Split, and then the movie I'm about to say, like the same thing. It sets it up for a bigger universe, and that was Iron Man. At the first Iron Man, the last where Samuel L. Jackson's sitting there, and he's like, "Have you ever heard of Shield?" That's what that. This is what in my mind I was like. Oh, it didn't change when Samuel L. Jackson showed up saying that he's what's his name again in
Nick
Marvel?
Fury?
Nick Fury. I don't know why I still got that. When he came in as Nick Fury, and he asks
Do you know
Robert
anything
Downey
about
Jr.
the?
It's
The
the
Avengers
Avengers
Initiative.
Initiative. Yeah, I don't know why I said Shield. He works for Shield, but then you talk about the other agent guy that never dies. What's his name?
What?
What's the other guy who works with Samuel L. Jackson all the time? He was in the movie too.
Oh, which one?
The white guy.
Oh,
The guy
The
who's
one
like
who
in
died?
Yeah, the one who's like the cool
who's
guy.
now in the
Shield,
terrible,
Agents of Shield.
like-
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
he was in the movie.
Yeah,
and he
I
talks
know.
about
I don't-
Shield.
I really don't care about him. I never cared about him.
Okay, that moment when the first cameo that
I
they have
guess.
ever,
It-
when
that
Samuel
was
L.
not for
Jackson
me.
shed.
Not at all.
Have you ever heard of the
I
Avengers
did not
Initiative?
think of Iron Man.
No, to me, I didn't tell, but the same effect because it didn't change
Not
Iron
effect,
Man.
like feeling.
Yeah, the same feeling and the same setup. What it did
When
is
you
that
saw it. It was
it-
like this reminded you of something. In
when
the
I saw
past.
them split, it reminded me emotionally of the same thing that happened when at the
Like
end
a
of
gut
Iron
feeling.
Man, where and actually it does
That-
kind of the
that
same
did
thing
not- I didn't feel that
because it does the same thing too. It
I
actually
watched it. It was like I started like my brain started to light up. I was like, wait a minute.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Wait a minute, he was in the movie Unbreakable. Samuel L. Jackson.
The other guys in there were like, what? Too?
Yeah, like
everyone was confused.
man,
like
I
Doug
really-
Walker was right. Oh, if you like,
I really
Most
wanted
people
to be
will not
in the
catch
movie
it, but
theater
some
alone, like just us. But no, a bunch
So
of
you'd be
people
like,
came in.
"Ah!"
It's like, yeah, it's like, oh man, I thought we were going to watch the movie alone. Just
And then
like,
10 people
The
showed
movie
up.
with us.
Oh.
No, it was like maybe 8.
That's 10.
Yeah, but like when they, because like
Other
the guys,
people
yeah,
showed up.
because we were like somewhat close to each other. And, like the guy was like saying, "Oh yeah, you remember the movie Unbreakable?" I was like, this guy right here,
He knows.
he saw it.
He
too.
knows.
Good for him.
He sees this.
Yeah,
he
and,
knows
like,
what's coming.
Yeah, and then like when
He
we were
knows
walking
what
out of the movie
happened.
theater, he was like explaining to his friends while I was like explaining to you guys, it's like what it was. It's like when we were like walking to the door, it was like, oh yeah, Unbreakable, and then like I said Unbreakable too. It was like, wait a minute, you're the guy who said it. It's like, oh, all right. We just left.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think, but that's what I'm saying about the delivery. The effect that it had was not obviously the same thing. But to me, after I think about, like, it had the same effect. Where what it does is
Effect
that
or
effect,
feeling?
the effect.
No, it
Feeling
was a
effect.
feeling. Effect is completely
It sets it
different
up.
meaning.
No, because it has a setup. Samuel L. Jackson's cameo at the end of Iron Man, just like this one of Bruce Willis, it didn't change any narrative of the movie. It wasn't a spoiler.
No, it just adds another layer
And that's
to it.
what I'm saying. That's exactly look. It immediately showed that there's a bigger universe. That this isn't just going to
Yeah,
be
because I wasn't
when
expecting.
he said
it's like,
because I thought like
who
oh
was
Iron Man's
expecting like this movie had anything to do with Unbreakable.
and that's the point though. That's what I'm saying is that
I guess that was the
like
big
you
twist.
saw Iron Man, like in the Iron Man movies. To me, that's why I said like this isn't going to be a setup because I'm always thinking about Spider-Man because they have the whole Marvel
Wait, which
universe
one?
there. Tobey Maguire that
Tobey
came out
Maguire's.
before Iron Man. I thought like okay great they're gonna do what they did to Tobey Maguire and just make it a standalone movie. But they had the potential for a great universe. I was like, okay, well, Iron Man was great. They might make another
I
one or
mean,
two, but that'll
that's
be
what they
it.
did
There
with
won't
the
be anything.
Christian Bale
I was
Batman
like, that's
movies.
what I'm saying. I was like you have a universe, but they
I know,
stopped
they
it.
coulda expanded on
Christopher
it, but
Nolan, they
didn't.
stopped
decided
it.
to stop.
Tobey Maguire and them, Sam Raimi, they stopped it. And I
no,
thought
they
like,
were
okay,
supposed to do more.
that's what I'm saying.
But,
There's always
you
supposed to
know,
be more because you have
they
it set up.
stopped.
And that's what I thought. Like
Because
Iron Man's
of
like,
reasons.
okay, this is gonna be good, but there was no other superheroes introduced, no one else. I thought like,
No,
okay, this
it
guy
was-
from Shield.
Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the Incredible Hulk came before Iron Man. Or
Yeah, but
like
then
around
again-
the same time.
But that's what I'm saying. No, but that was with Edward Norton, and he's not in this movie, or he's not in the current stuff.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like all the superhero movies leading
we're
up
not,
to the
okay,
point.
we're not talking about superhero movies.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But this is the same. This is the same
not,
delivery about
this
it.
is not a traditional superhero
That's what I'm
movie.
saying. But this is not about that. It's
It's
about
not even a superhero
it's about
movie.
the delivery
it's
of
an
it.
entrance of the main villain of what
A superhero
you
universe.
think it might be in the next movie. We're not 100% sure if there will be.
Could you
a
imagine M. Night
next Unbreakable.
Shyamalan?
Because that was like
Ding Dong.
over like 5 to 10 years.
Could you imagine him directing a superhero movie?
No.
What would that be
I
like?
won't. There'll be just nothing but
What would
twists
happen?
all over the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Like, what would
"Haha,
happen?
I was your father. Wrong. I am your father. It's like some dumb thing. Something dumb like that.
The girl is our mother.
Like, the girl is our mother. What?
Wait, hold on. That
Midnight
makes no sense.
Shyamalama Ding Dong.
You
Stop.
did it again.
Stop.
She's a time
Stop
traveler.
it with my emotions.
Wrong.
Oh well.
But what I'm saying is like I thought because you're right, Hulk or the Incredible Hulk, 2 of them, and then they had the Superman movie, and then they had the Batman movies too,
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan's, and then Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, and I thought like okay,
the
this
Amazing Spider-Man.
Iron-
There
but no.
was supposed to be a third one, but it was so bad and it was so dumb they cut it. They just completely stopped it.
But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about Iron Man and the fact that I was like, okay, well, that was a good run. They're gonna make an Iron Man movie or 2, and that's it because they've done it before.
They made 3.
But I don't know, they made 3.
and
but
it
I
showed
thought
a giant. Okay, when I saw Iron Man, this was 2008, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, in which we saw it in the theaters because like I just like barely knew Iron Man from the comic books because like I mean, who cares about Iron Man?
That's what
it was
I'm
a guy in a
saying.
suit. I mean,
He's a
whatever.
superhero, but
like
he's
I
not the
loved
most popular
the Incredible
superhero.
Hulk. When I heard the Incredible Hulk was coming out, it was like I saw the TV show. This is amazing, and like I read some of the comic books. I was like, what? There's a movie? I can watch it.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying.
And
It's
then
like,
I saw it. I was like, this is great. But then like when I saw Iron Man, I was like, who's
not bad.
Iron Man again? I kind
But,
of forgot.
like, I was like,
then,
oh, yeah,
I
there's-
went back in my memory. I was like, oh yeah, he's another superhero.
and that's what I'm saying. Like that superhero movies up to
No,
the
no.
point were one and
before
done deals.
The movie, I think Iron Man might have been like a, I guess, B-list superhero.
He's a secondary
'Cause, like,
superhero.
When you think of like a Marvel comic book, you think about like Captain America, Incredible Hulk, like all these big things.
Thor.
And then Thor. It was like
Super Spider-Man.
And then like Iron Man. It was like Iron Man was always
He's good, but
like
he
a
wasn't
big part
at the
of
top.
it. But like
He was like the Justice
He was
Friends.
a guy in a suit.
Aquaman to the Justice Friends, the Justice League. He's there, but he's not like he never had. I mean,
he's
leader.
a guy in a metal suit.
Iron
This is
Man
like-
never had the leadership role of the Marvel superhero universe. But then Robert Downey Jr. happened, and that's what I'm saying.
Robert
though.
Downey Jr. was, I think
He made Iron Man
He
a
made the Marvel
lead.
universe.
Robert
He was
Downey
a-
Jr.'s
he was the
character
lead.
and charisma and the direction that they had with Iron Man made Iron Man now a true lead in the superhero universe of Marvel, where it was usually just Captain America and Spider-Man forever, and everyone knew it. But
love
now
Iron Man.
Iron Man is now a lead. And the point, though, is
All
that...
right, wait.
This is what I'm saying.
Talking about superhero movies, the Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was there, too. Yeah.
Like they made 2 movies of the.
And then they
the
stopped.
First, no, wait. Going before that one, they made one that was supposed to like release on TV, like a movie. Like you saw like the screenshots of like the thing. He's like all ugly, just like just looks like a giant turd rock, and like Mr. Fantastic. It was like that movie. But then the Fantastic Four, when that came out, it's like wow, this is
not
a
bad.
superhero. Wow.
It's all right.
And then like the
Very
second
good.
was
Second
like,
was like,
I'm really
"Oh,
glad
not
Chris
bad."
Evans
Changed
stopped being,
roles.
yeah. I mean, as the Human Torch, he was okay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though about that. But then when they were done, they were done. Superhero movies up to Iron Man were one and done deals. They had all the universe they could deal with, but they just didn't do it. They didn't put them with anything else. But then when Nick Fury came out, with Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury came out, it immediately sparked the that's what I'm saying. That's what Bruce Willis did there. It
Well,
connected the dots.
not for me.
What it did to me, it did. It connected the dots, saying like, okay, this is not M. Night Shyamalan. Split's not a standalone movie. It is officially
would be.
the connection of a universe that he's set up. And I thought like, that's great. That's why I thought about Iron Man. I was like, finally.
Yeah.
When he said, have you heard
Well-
of the Avengers? Immediately I said, Captain America, Thor, the whole. I thought like, oh my gosh, they're
Well,
gonna make
let's-
more movies.
I don't know, but let's stop diverting the superhero.
But that's what I'm
movies.
saying. No, that's
Let's
how
get back.
that's
on
how I
the
feel
movie.
about because that's how I feel about the twist of this movie.
I know.
It's not even a
let's
twist.
not-
It's not even. It's a thing. People just called it the M. Night Shyamalan thing. There's always a thing, but this was a great thing because it solidified a setup to a bigger universe, which is what people want to see. I think, especially superhero
Well-
movies, they were not one and done. So Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man,
See,
great,
now-
and they were done. Never connection, anything
All
else.
right.
They just
I-
threw away everything else.
It was
No connection to any other
he
movies.
He might be making.
Superheroes.
You don't know because
Why wouldn't
movies.
he?
movies and stuff because you never know. Like this movie was.
This
supposed to come out
movie
this-
is a success. It
Was
is.
it?
It is. It
Yeah,
has
it
been a
is.
success.
But
Admit it, it has been a success.
I know, but like I was
Unbreakable
not
was a success.
expecting,
Exactly, and that's the
I
point,
know.
though. That's why I feel like
and
it,
I
to
wasn't.
me,
I wasn't like hoping. Is like, oh man, Split. This better have.
it
the-
better be
this
like
be
it
the
better set up
sequel.
to Unbreakable.
Yeah, no, I
or,
wasn't
or
expecting
any other.
anything like that.
Immediately, I thought
I was
Bruce Willis. I thought The
expecting-
Sixth Sense. I'm like, hold on a second,
No,
this makes
I
no
was
sense.
expecting
And I
a
remember, yeah, there's
Shyamalan
Unbreakable
movie
too.
with Thriller, which was a
Thriller-
great movie.
Thriller-
It was a great movie in itself, but then
Twist
he just
end.
add another layer on top of it. Was like, wow.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like this movie is even more special than it already was. if it was standalone, it was great. But then again, it felt like after he went to like when I saw Split, after he was talking to himself in the mirror at the very very end that you see James McAvoy for the last time, I thought like, oh, that's it. I was like, oh, I was like, that's it. Is it gonna be like one of these horror movies where they have the bad guy disappear and they never see him again, but they say like he's on the run and you know, the guy's on the run, but then they never go back to it. Movies are one and done. They're like, okay, horror movies are usually one and done things. Great thriller, great suspense, a great twist. The ending leaves you hanging, and then there's no release in the future because it's like Don't Breathe. Was a good movie. Yeah, that's the one where you have that guy who's you know, and then he's blind.
The like veteran with blind, and these terrible children.
Kids going there, and they try, you know, and then you saw it.
No.
Okay, well, what happens is that like he keeps a lady in there that he
kidnaps
impregnates.
the girl who killed his daughter,
something like that, or sued him.
But then
like
he shoots her,
and then
she takes over the blonde girl to make her.
You're gonna be the new. You're gonna
mother
make me
of
my
my
new
child.
daughter.
Even though, because of the other one. I was like, and then what happens is that he survives the shootout. He survives the beating at the end of the movie, and the girl disappears with her kid, and they go on to live happily ever after. Even though their friends like, oh my gosh, he's still around, and so like the killer is still alive. He made it out, but then again, he realized the guy's blind. It's not like he's gonna find the girl ever again.
I mean, he could.
No, he can't. How?
If he uses Daredevil powers, and like, you know,
he has. That's
find
what I'm
her
saying.
by sonic powers.
Most horror movies are like that. They don't set up to anything else. They scare you, they suspense you, they throw in a twist and little suspense at the end, and then it's done.
Okay, there are some horror movies in
That's
which
it. Nothing else.
Because a good example would be the Evil Dead series. The first Evil Dead, like the entire movie, they had a beginning, middle, and end. There was an end to it. There wasn't going to be like, yep, we're going to have a Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
No, they did not think about that at all. And then when Evil Dead 2 came out, it was pretty much the first movie, but a retold of it, and it was a completely different movie.
It's the Evil Dead with a budget.
Yeah, it was Evil Dead, but it was supposed to be like a retelling of the first one, but like it had absolutely nothing to do with the first one. And then the third one came out because it was leading up to another movie. Like some horror movies, they have like the, you know, Friday the 13th or Halloween, because those are movies in which they were made to have more come after it.
Technically, no, they're just cash cows.
What?
They just know.
No,
Friday
I mean,
the 13th,
when they first came out, like
Yeah.
the first one, the second one, they had like legitimate stories to it.
Well, they had them individually, but they were never really interconnected. Halloween did, but not Friday the 13th.
No.
Scream
Halloween
does. Scream
was
had
supposed
connections.
to be Halloween was supposed to be Michael Myers, like the first one and second one, and then it was supposed to be like a anthology of different horror movie aspects. Because the third one or the fourth one was about like a witch cult or something. I don't know. It was.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they came back to Michael Myers.
But I hate movies.
That was,
and that's the thing. I hate horror movies that would set you up and then leave you suspenseful at the end, saying what could happen next. Like Don't Breathe. Great, had a good movie, good experience. It was fun. It was great. And then you say like he's still alive, but you realize there ain't gonna be another movie. So why just set us up? Just have the ending. End it. Say like he was dead or something like that. It doesn't. It's just like okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But this movie did the same thing. It's like, okay, he's still alive, but then they don't catch him, but there's no setup to say, like, he's going to come back. He doesn't make a part like, I'll get that girl. I'll get her again. There's no setup.
Movie coming after it, which is going to be Unbreakable 2, maybe, or another title. I mean, that would be great, but if not, because you know how movies are.
Yeah,
it might be made, it might not, but whatever.
But they did. That's what I'm saying. They didn't. To me,
that was a good segue point, because they could have just stopped it there. That's a good segue point.
Not to
which
me.
They could, because an anime is like, it's like to be continued, and then like it never happens. Like it like stops at one point in the manga.
Half-Life 3?
In the anime. I'm not talking about video games. I'm talking about manga and anime. Like
animes.
In which they can like you can watch the entire thing, and then like there's an ending, and then like it was supposed to be like a to be continued like point, but like there's Like it never came another season because of reasons, money, whatever. The same thing could be with movies. With this movie, Split, the very end, that was a good
There's a setup
segue
to
point.
say, like,
I know
okay, there
it was a
could be
good
more.
segue point in which you could expect another movie, but like you can also be satisfied with just Split.
To me, it
If
wouldn't be because,
Unbreakable 2 never comes out.
here's the thing, like
Well, I mean, you could take it and leave it.
when they said that he's powerful, he's gonna come back, he's strong. They released the beast. If you were to end it right there, would you be satisfied? Because
I mean, it had a satisfying ending.
well, the girl was
somewhat.
saved, but that's what I'm saying. If it ended with the mirror scene, there was nothing else after that. That was it. His dialogue
Yeah,
and
and
says
you're
like,
s-
"Oh,
you're
we'll be
supposed
back."
to think he's just
but
out
to
there.
what? Yeah, I don't know. But that'd be like that. They're out there. That's what horror movies just
Yeah,
say. Like,
that's the
he's
that's
still
the,
alive.
Yeah,
he's
that's
on the
the
loose.
Scariest
but
thing
then,
about it.
But then they don't come back and conclude that.
I know, but in a movie, like you see the bad guy, and then like the very end, you see what he can do in the movie, and then at the very end, he's still out there. That's supposed to be like one of the scariest parts of a thriller horror movie about like a person who's like a
Yeah, I
serial
know.
killer.
It makes you think
Because,
like, oh, it can happen
he's
again.
Still out there in the movie universe. He's still
Yeah.
out there.
Like there's always something out there. But then again, though, what that means is that there's never a finalization of some movies. They just
Yeah.
kind of keep you hanging
I know,
there.
but
Like
some movies can't have another movie
That's what I'm saying.
because of it either didn't do well because like some movies that were terrible in the box office or like just went straight to DVD, straight to VHS, going by some of the like
straight to beta.
yeah, straight to It was a great movie when you watch it, but like most people, what is it called? A cult
Betamax.
classic. It could be a cult classic. Cause what was that movie that was became a cult classic? I don't remember.
Which one?
I don't know.
A horror
It
movie?
no, it was like it did terrible like opening weekend. But
Harold
then
and Kumar?
later- I don't know. Oh, anyways, this movie Split was great
Good movie.
in my opinion.
It ended-
It was a great movie.
To me, I thought the ending, if it ended right there, it'd be like, oh man, there should have been more. And like, you're right, maybe not. M. Night Shyamalan he's not a one and done director. Most people
No,
would say, yeah.
he is.
He
but,
has
like,
stuff.
He,
That's
he
what
always
I'm
puts
saying,
a
yeah.
twist at the end because that's his signature.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, but
thing.
this twist wasn't just a twist. Like, Mwam. If there was going to be a twist, it would have happened when they found the girl, and when they were showing the animals. I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I was like, oh
I
my
really
gosh, where's the
thought-
twist? I was like, where's the twist
I know.
there? I was like,
really
oh my
thought
gosh, I
the
was
girl
like,
was
I'm-
gonna be
the bad guy. The
no,
whole
not the
time.
bad guy. I thought she was gonna be turned into because she had a traumatic experience when
Just
she was
like
little.
him.
Yeah, just like him.
And I was like, oh,
and like you're supposed to
okay.
like think, is like, is she gonna become like him in the future?
I thought that I was thinking like, oh, maybe he is her and she's hallucinating all this
Nah.
thing, and she's the one who's keeping them captive and actually killing them. That's what I'm saying. Like, because like her
wait.
backstory and his
Nah.
backstory relate.
I wasn't
They're
thinking about that.
relatable. I was thinking like, because when I saw the animals, I thought like, hold on, the girl is gutting out and she's seeing all these animals. And as soon as I heard the monkey out, I'm like, oh. I was
don't
like, wait, and she's looking around. She looked confused. I'm like, oh, there's
Yeah,
something gonna
it was-
happen. Like, there's a twist here. Like, I can see it. There's something here, and it never connected.
Yeah.
I was like,
It
okay.
was they were in a zoo.
I was like, okay, they were in a zoo. I was like, oh my
And
gosh,
then,
there's
like,
something about that.
Yeah,
No,
that kind of
they
like
were just in
that,
a zoo.
That kind of clicked in my head. Is like all these
Animals.
no, like all these inferences or like analogies to like different animals. Because like we were just talking about like the tiger or like the rhino. It's like why are they talking about animals? It's like come on, he has a split personality and stuff. And like let's stick with that. And then they were talking about different animals. Like he was talking to the children and saying, "Well, the tiger eats its prey. It's like 30 times a day or something."
Lions can
Yeah.
eat
What-
30 pounds of food a
What
day.
is- It's like what is it with this?
Why is this
and
guy
then like
saying
you
this?
figure
How
it
does
out
he know it?
at the end, and then it all ties in into a bigger picture.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
like, if there is no bigger picture, this little picture, which was Split, I would have been. It would have
Deeply
been
satisfying.
It's satisfying to me.
I was like, that's a good movie.
Okay, this movie.
That was interesting. It was
It-
kind of
it was
at
not
the beginning.
bad.
I was slow.
It was not good. It was great.
At the beginning,
In my
it was kind of slow to pick up. I was like, interesting. Like, there's a lot of exposition, a lot of development. Like, okay, we're
that
developing
was
the
like maybe
characters,
5 minutes
but
at
nothing
most.
happened to me. Yeah, but to me, it felt like until the point where it changed was when the second girl got captured. Because that when they split up.
Oh,
When they
yeah,
finally
when
all three of them split
in
up.
different rooms.
That's when the real suspense
Oh
started.
no, that
happening
was
there.
okay. Remember the part where he starts dancing to Kanye West?
Or just trap music.
Yeah, and then like whenever what's the boy's name? Wendell or
Yeah, Hedwig.
I thought it was neat and really creepy at the same time. Because when he came in, I was like, what is happening? Why is he like this? Because when Dylan came out, you
Dennis.
thought, Dennis. Okay, you were supposed to think in the beginning of the movie, Dennis is the bad guy. It was just him, but then he comes back as Bertha or whatever,
Patricia.
Patricia. I was like, this is weird. And then when finally Hedgewood comes in,
Hedwig.
Hedwig, the girl asked
I
him this
think.
question, like, how old are you? He said 9. I was like, oh, this man has
This guy's loony.
this man has personal, not personal,
Mm-hmm.
multiple personality disorder or something like that. Anyways,
Identities.
we're diverting from the point. The movie was great, and I think
Any
that might be
cons to it? True cons?
Cons,
Other than M. Night
the
Shyamalan's little
characters,
truth and character flaws here or there.
the children, the girls, they were
Yeah, a few character
they were
flaws here or there.
subpar at most.
Yeah.
It was the
It wasn't their acting.
was
It was
the-
writing and directing. It wasn't acting.
no,
it
it was the
writing and
Midnight
directing.
Shyamalama curse.
It was
I
it
guess.
was dialogue and delivery of dialogue, which is not their fault. It was like
No.
it just seemed like it didn't seem
I
nat-
think
it didn't
it
seem
was-
like there was a connection
it was
to them.
kind of bad directing.
For them.
Yeah, for
But
them.
for them.
But
But then
Oh,
the other
man.
girl, James McAvoy, and the lady
James McAvoy,
Kajinga,
completely-
they did it.
James McAvoy completely stole
I was
the
like,
show,
this is the movie
and I
that-
loved it.
Here's the thing,
he
though,
was a great actor before this, and then like when I saw this, it's like
That's
he
it.
shows his
Like,
complete
this is acting chops.
This is his complete acting skills. He
This
can
is-
like go
this-
to like any high budget Hollywood movie and like. Not even tell them about all the other high list movies he's been in. He
Just
could
watch
show,
Split.
He could just show Split and like show his acting.
Sir, what's your resume?
yeah,
It seems like your
it's like,
resume
this
just
is
says
him.
watch Split.
This is
Like,
amazing.
see,
It's
if
like
I
how great of an actor he is.
as I said, like if he was ever auditioning every time he ever auditioned ever again, and his resume is
Yeah,
ever
he
brought to
just
people,
shows Split.
I was like,
that's all he has to
he's
do.
he's already a big name actor, so he doesn't have
Yeah.
to like present himself like he's
No,
a
he
nobody. He has agents and stuff that will
mean,
get him there.
it-
That he knows he has
Even
his
if he
name
just
carries.
like wanted to go to like some big A-list
But-
Hollywood producer, and,
But
like,
it'll
and like
help
he
the
didn't
girl.
tell them.
The
about
girl
all
will
the
help.
other
That'll
ones.
help her.
Yeah,
The girl can use
I know,
this
but
like,
she
what's the
wasn't-
movie you've been in? Split. Just watch Split.
I know, but, like,
she didn't have
she
the
wasn't-
range available to her.
No,
She wasn't given the range. This was like, this is an acting's dream to literally play all these people in the same movie, and you're just a super villain, and it's amazingly, it's like, it's great,
Well,
and he delivers it
okay.
perfectly. It would be.
let's not call him a super villain because
I would.
he would no.
He
he's not.
hugged the lady
No,
to
he
death.
has multiple personality
He's
disorder.
a super villain.
No, some of them.
took two
no,
shotguns
he had
to the
3
point
characters
blank.
were super villains. The rest of the characters were, not super villain esque.
Conflicts
They were
and
yeah.
interests.
They were all just normal,
Internal
different.
conflicts.
Yeah, and finally at the very end, his true self came out, the Beast, and he became the Horde. That is his super villain persona, I guess.
Yeah.
It was okay. Final thoughts. Go.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Bruce Willis made it amazing, and
Bruce
James
Willis-
McAvoy made it. Okay,
James
okay.
McAvoy,
Let's
great.
say again. Okay, great movie, great suspense, has its character flaws. M. Night Shyamalan's to blame there. Then here's the thing though about that. You gotta realize this about M. Night Shyamalan, the character flaws. It's weird because he wrote the same lines for those girls as he did for James McAvoy. As I feel like you have so much potential. Like if M. Night
I know,
Shyamalan
but
could
James
write the way he
McAvoy,
did and
he
do it,
has his
perfect.
He had chops.
His acting chops.
He has acting chops.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
But anyways, okay. Final thoughts.
Great movie.
We said it. Great movie.
Great movie. Oscar nods for James McAvoy. Clearly,
Just him.
I like the girl and I like the psychiatrist
No,
too.
the girl
But
was okay.
The girl was good. The both the
Psychiatrist
ladies were
was great.
good. James McAvoy best. Would you call it supporting actor or
Who?
actor? Would you call this role? Would you call him a supporting role or a lead role?
Who?
James McAvoy.
No, he was definitely the lead.
Was he a lead role?
Yeah, he was. He was
He was a lead
a
male.
main character.
Yeah, he was a lead male
He was
character.
the lead male character.
Even though he's not this hero, but he is a lead character.
No, he could be both the lead male and lead female, and all lead.
Yeah, he could just
child
take
actor.
Patricia as
yeah,
the
just like
character,
him. He could be everything. He could get like awards for each and every single role.
He is
But anyways.
okay. Oscar nomination for James McAvoy. Great intertwining. It's okay. There's a thing at the end. It's not a twist. But it connects the dots to M Night Shyamalan to realize this guy has plans. That's the thing about this is what I was like. It's good to see that M Night Shyamalan, who has made great movies in the past and then
Well,
disappeared for a while.
It
Sixth Sense.
can differ.
And then here's the thing though, he disappeared and then he comes back in a big way with this movie. And people said The Visit, you don't like it. I've heard good things from other people. Anyway,
I think it's
with
dumb.
and then The Split came back and it connected the dots to show that he's gonna have other movies that are connected to it. He's creating a universe which shows there you go. That's a great it was like this you can't go wrong. Like there's a million ways that this could go wrong because split personality. What if James McAvoy just doesn't sell it because that's a strange role? But everything that made the movie great made it so great that even the flaws of the movie, they don't stand out. Like I said,
The
there's
pros
flaws.
outweigh the cons.
The pros definitely outweigh the cons in a big way. So much so that it might chink at the Shyamalan stereotype. He's had a
Well-
lot of bad movies though, and a lot of questionable things in his good movies. But this is starting to. It might chink away. This will definitely.
See, now, I
this
think
kind of puts a little
this
chink
is his
in that
renaissance. I think.
This is
Because,
there
like,
might
when
be
he
a
came out,
Shyamalan
he
renaissance
had-
coming out, a second coming of the Shyamalama Ding Dong.
See, now I hope it's a good renaissance and not a black plague.
Yeah.
Anyways, this has been the Reuniverse review podcast of Split. Thank you for joining us. This has been Frank
And I'm Robert.
and Robert. And, well, have a good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.